UFC Freedom 250. The long-awaited White House card has finally been revealed. For months, our favorite bald promoter fed us promises of a cosmic tournament in the temple of global democracy. And D-Day is finally here. Right in the middle of UFC 326, we got the biggest announcement of the last few years. We waited, you waited, everyone waited. It finally happened. The expectations were sky high, and as usual, they completely fell short. Honestly, the first impression is just, it is what it is. At this point, it doesn't even surprise anyone anymore. Instead of the greatest fight card of the 21st century, we got this. Why did it happen? Whose fault is it? Why the hell is Kyle Daukaus on this card? Where is Bilal Muhammad? Today we're going to try to answer all these questions. What's up, guys? CombatCultMMA here. Let's break down this White House card. What is this? Do we even need this? Is it even possible to enjoy a six-fight card with this kind of matchmaking? Grab a seat because we have a lot of info on UFC Freedom 250. I hope you've got a hot, juicy bacon cheeseburger on your desk right now. It's the only right way to watch this video. Drop a couple of ice cubes in your Coke and let's get into it. The first time the White House was brought up was by Trump himself back in July last year. During one of his rallies, old Donald just casually dropped that, yeah, the UFC is going to host an event at the White House. He promised us like 80 to 90 title fights on the card. Said we were in for the greatest sporting event in human history to celebrate 250 years of American independence. We were expecting some historical type of shit. Everyone was in shock, even Dana White himself. The bald boss was hyped, but looking at his reaction, you got the feeling he didn't expect things to move this fast. I mean, yeah, we all joked about it. Like, imagine Donnie sitting in the Oval Office and right in his front yard, John Jones is choking out some Brit or Mexican, raising the Star-Spangled Banner and hitting his little dance. Sounds amazing, right? We thought it was a meme, but turns out it's 100% real. So, let's go. Time to build the card. To be fair, old Donald has been circling the MMA scene for about 20 years. He's been friends with Dana, helped him host early tournaments, and even created the legendary Affliction promotion where Fedor Emelianenko face-planted Andrei Arlovsky. The guy genuinely loves MMA, so I wouldn't be surprised if this whole initiative actually came straight from Trump. Long story short, this event was inevitable, and the occasion is massive. Actually, two occasions. The 250th anniversary of U.S. independence and Trump's own 80th birthday. The event goes down on June 14th, literally on Donald's birthday, which also happens to be Flag Day. God himself commanded them to throw down. Well, maybe not God, but Trump did. So let's look at the final card. It definitely fits the madness. This announcement raised a lot of questions, the biggest one being, what the hell is this? Why, under the guise of a historic once-in-a-millennium tournament, did we get a glorified fight night with a couple of title bouts sprinkled on top? To be fair, we have no complaints about the two main title fights. Suga Sean O'Malley being there makes sense too. But the other four fights, what is this? Steve Garcia, Mauricio Ruffy, Ayman Zahabi, Kyle Daukaus? What are these esteemed gentlemen doing here? Don't get me wrong, they are solid fighters, but they belong on the prelims of a PPV or headlining an Apex card. Michael Chandler, after 4 years of waiting, finally gets a fight. But it's against the Brazilian AliExpress version of Conor McGregor, Mauricio Ruffy. Chandler is an electrifying dude, but he's got cage rust. Who knows what kind of performance he'll put on? Though to give Chandler credit, the guy knows how to put on a show. He's probably the only guy who works the mic equally well whether he wins or gets slept. Our boy Bo Nicol wasn't bad in his last fight. He's a collegiate wrestling star, but bro isn't even ranked. Ayman Zahabi and Steve Garcia are ranked, sure. And Diego Lopez, look, we love him, but what is he doing here? He's not a champion, and frankly, he's Brazilian. And this is without mentioning that Donald promised us 8 or 9 title fights? Okay, we were ready for a shortened card, but where is the championship heat? Obviously, putting 8 title fights in one night is impossible and completely unnecessary. Yeah, Trump got a little too excited on the mic. Okay, you cut it down to 6 fights. Okay, you couldn't pack it with champions. But at least give us the stars. Give us the personalities. Give us fun matchmaking. Where is Kevin Holland? Where is Derek Lewis? Where is our favorite based redneck, Bryce Mitchell? All right, so Sean Strickland is fighting for the belt against Khamzat Chimaev. Strickland loves talking trash. He recently said he wouldn't fight at the White House because he doesn't want to entertain people from the Epstein flight logs. But if that's the case, why not open the card with a scrap featuring Trump's favorite fighter and the top American welterweight Colby Covington? Why are these specific people fighting at the White House? If we drop the irony and get serious for a second, the absence of John Jones here is absolute garbage. Why is Jones not here? I mean, we know why. The bald boss and Bones couldn't agree on the money. But why? For an event of this magnitude, you pay Jones whatever he wants. A tournament at the White House is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You have to make a deal. And since neither White nor Jones could compromise, minus respect points for both of them. Dana, of course, already held a whole press briefing saying nobody ever expected Jones here. Never ever. And did you see how he runs? He has arthritis. But we don't fully buy what the bald man is selling. Jones himself already jumped on Twitter and dropped some facts, saying they're lying. He said he was offered the fight, but it was pure disrespect. They only offered him a measly $15 million. Basically fighting for free, right? Even before this Twitter rage, it was obvious Dana was twisting the truth. Jones had been hyping up the White House card for a long time. He fueled the rumors, flirted with the press, even though he could have shut it down early. Long story short, this is a massive matchmaking fuck-up, and that's on Dana. As for the main events, there are fewer complaints. Overall, they are bangers. Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje, Alex Pereira, and even Cyril Gane. These are real stars, and we always tune in for their fights. We need that main and co-main event. We will gladly watch them. But even here, there's a catch. The first issue is kind of political. A Georgian Spaniard, a Brazilian, and a Frenchman. Out of the 4 headliners, there is only one American, Gaethje, and there is a 99% chance he gets knocked out cold. And I really don't know how that's going to look on the White House lawn. An American holiday, the White House. And the American gets violently flatlined? It definitely raises some questions for the matchmakers. Although, as MMA fans, we couldn't care less. Let the politicians in the front row deal with it. Dana popped up again and said the Topuria versus Gaethje fight came together at the very last minute. They didn't even plan to put them on this card. Sounds logical, but then who the hell did they want? Turns out it really was Jones. There were also rumors that the main event was supposed to be Islam Makhachev versus Topuria, and that it fell through at the last second. Dana denied it, but you have to admit, Russians fighting at the White House? Well, you get the vibe. Long story short, we have a ton of questions about this White House card. It's definitely not what we expected. But on the flip side, are the matchups actually bad? In a vacuum, no, not at all. Minus the 2 main events, this would be a perfectly fine main card for a random fight night. The issue is purely about whether it fits an event of this scale. The expectations for UFC at the White House were astronomical. And we just have to admit, our expectations got completely humbled. So I guess it's time to answer the ultimate question. Are we gonna watch it? Yes, the card will likely be a banger, packed with finishes and knockouts. Well, as much as possible for a 6-fight card. At the end of the day, no one in their right mind is skipping a historic event like this. We can throw all the trash we want, but we're still tuning in. The event is historic and the matchups are solid. Most likely, Dana White had 2 main goals when building this. Make sure there are Americans and make sure there is blood. And honestly, the second one is way more important. The tournament has to be flashy, full of KOs so the VIP guests don't get bored. Grandpa Trump doesn't hide it when he's not entertained. You don't want him falling asleep at the cage on his own birthday. Imagine him waking up like, what is this? Where are the real fights? Why are they just hugging? Give me blood and violence. They need knockouts, even if the American is the one eating the canvas. And in that regard, this card has incredible potential. Diego Lopez, Garcia, Ruffy, Shugashan, they can all deliver absolute masterclasses, turn the lights out with one punch, or at least beautifully piece up their opponents on the feet for 15 minutes. Chandler definitely isn't going to ruin the party with boring wrestling. He has 0 issues sacrificing a win just to get the crowd on their feet. Maybe Bo Nickel won't get a crazy finish this time, but we'll forgive him. If he manages to quickly submit some no-name and make America great again, it'll definitely make Trump and everyone else happy. Yes, the star power is lacking, considering it's the White House. But the matchups themselves are fucking great if you strip away the hype and just look at what we're actually getting inside the octagon. It's not cosmic, but turning on UFC for 2 to 3 hours on a Sunday morning to watch these six scraps? Yeah, it works. Welcome to the acceptance stage, ladies and gentlemen. On the other hand, just imagine how much cooler it would be to watch Topuria versus Gaethje and Poatan versus Gaethje on a standard PPV in a packed arena with a full card, real prelims, and the proper big fight feel. So, to sum it up, we'd rather have this than not have it at all. The content will be good, but once again, they miss the fans' G-spot. The real question is, why does the UFC even need this? For the promotion, this is a terrible business move. The organization costs are insanely high, and there is zero financial return. They aren't making money on tickets, it's strictly VIPs, invite only. Fighter pay is higher than usual, so why do it? Because it's a pure legacy and image play. It scales the UFC brand and popularizes MMA to the extreme. The entire world will be watching this White House card. Even people who never watch sports, let alone MMA, will tune in just to see what Donald Trump is up to now. And even if most casuals turn it off after a minute, a good percentage will stay. Boom, new fan base. Imagine a typical housewife from Middle America turning on the TV, and there's a guy with pink hair piecing up his opponent, a stocky macho guy holding a rose in his mouth, and some scary giant screaming, "Chama." All of this while the President of the United States claps in the background. What better advertisement for the UFC? For that specific purpose, this White House card is perfect. It's built to satisfy slightly tipsy casuals on the White House lawn. And that's the most important takeaway. They didn't do this for you and me. They didn't do it for the hardcore fans. They did it for the rich VIPs on exclusive lists. So that's the deal. There's still plenty of time before the White House card to digest all this and get used to it. Maybe things will change. Maybe we'll get new info or crazy promos. Dana and the UFC will definitely work their media magic alongside Paramount. But man, they really needed John Jones here. Or they should have dragged Dustin Poirier or Conor out of retirement. Just something to give this card some legendary lore. Let me know in the comments. Do we even need regular title belts for this? Wouldn't it be better to create a special one, like the Donald Trump BMF belt or the Nobel Peace Prize belt? Although if they made a peace belt, Colby Covington would probably come out in full peacemaker gear to steal it. Whatever happens, it's going to be a wild ride. We are absolutely watching it. Drop your raw, unfiltered reactions to this announcement in the comments below. Eat good, subscribe to the channel, and follow the socials linked in the description. This has been Combat Cult MMA. Never back down. See you next time.